Michele Evans, and you are here with me and the WomeNomic Show. I am so excited to be here today to share with you someone who is extremely special to me. She is so special to me that we was born on the same date. So get ready, ladies, for a time for the next 30 minutes where you're going to learn more about this particular topic. And this topic is for today, be fit financially. That's right. We have the one and only Ms. Michele Von Hoven, who is an authority on Be Fit Financially. So let me just share with you information about our special guest today. Michele has over 30 years of experience in investment management, tax saving strategies, savvy retirement accumulation, and income and estate planning. And I did say over 30 years. So she knows her stuff, ladies. Michele managed her own tax and accounting firm, and she assists hundreds of individuals completing their tax returns. And what she noticed when she was doing this is the holistic approach. So what Michele has done is bring to her clients and to you today the holistic approach for Be Fit Financially. And I can't wait until we can dive into this. Now, what Michele does, and this is where I think her sweet spot is, she looks at your whole financial picture as one situation that you may have that may affect another one. See, when you retire, do you know where to draw income to supplement your paycheck in retirement? That's right, ladies. Do you know where this supplement is coming from to replace the paycheck you have been getting? Or even for women entrepreneurs, you may decide to retire, same situation, okay? Your financial health is as important as your physical health, and they have an effect on each other. Michele is a fiduciary. She always works in the best interest of individuals, treating everyone with the dignity and respect they deserve. Now, Michele is the founder of Women's Financial Solutions Network. That's right, ladies, where she is. Along with myself, we're partnering to do this together, empowering 1 million women to $1 million. That's right, through Be Fit Financially. Michele is also a co-author with Brian Tracy on Ignite Your Life. The world's leading entrepreneurs and professionals reveal their secrets to ignite your health, your wealth, and success. Now, she has a forthcoming book, so be on the look for this one. Be Fit Financially to Ignite Your Life, 7 Steps to Financial Success for Life. Did you hear that? Financial success for life. So it is indeed my honor and pleasure to introduce to you, if you don't know her, Miss Michele Von Hoven. Michele, welcome, my friend.
Well, thank you, Linda. It's a privilege and my pleasure to be here with you. And thank you for inviting me. And thank you for the very kind introduction. We're gonna empower women over $1 million, and the ones that are at $1 million, we're gonna get them over it. So
that's exactly right. And today's topic is going to help women to realize how important it is to be fit financially. So Michele, that's the first question I would like for you to address. What do you mean by be fit financially?
Well, that's a great question, Linda. Thank you. And that's why I named the firm Be Fit Financially, because if you're not financially fit, then you can't, work through all your other dreams and your goals. So your physical health and your financial health are important factors affecting your total well-being and prosperity. So physical fitness, you all know, what involves building muscle and becoming more efficient, while financial fitness involves building wealth and flexing your economic power, Power, so your money is more efficient. So you want to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. And if you forget your health, and it will forget you and eat your wealth. And so we all know about the stress that money causes everyone.
That's right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So, Michele, why is it so important for women to be physically fit financially? And this is about women. Why
Mhm.
is it? Because I want women to understand the importance
Mhm.
of being fit financially for herself. And like you said, power her, to
Mhm.
power her. Okay.
Mhm. Right, right. So there's a study that's done every year called Stress in America by the American Psychology Association, and they find the number one cause of stress is money, and number two is health. Now, you may think if it's just money, it may not be just lack of money, but you could have too much money, not too much, nobody has too much maybe, but how do you handle it? You know,
Mhm.
you amass this and how do you handle that? So it's important, for women to understand because there are many reasons, right? We know, and you've heard this perhaps, that women, the longevity factor,
Mhm.
we live typically around 5 years longer than men. Women are out of the workforce for some years if they have children, if they're caregiver to their children, or even caregiver to parents. And now we've been seeing since COVID, women caregivers to their husbands. So, these are all issues that we need to, how are we going to fill these gaps in their finances?
Okay.
And then, so, women don't want to be a bag lady, right? Nope, they don't want to be the bag lady. But now they're more concerned with their health, their family, and their mortality. So we have to fill again those gaps, and so that we can be fit financially, to live well and retire secure.
You know, that leads into this question. You and I have had this conversation on numerous occasions. What are major concerns women face regarding money?
Mm. Well, one of the major concerns is that they want to have enough money to outlive them. So they don't want to outlive their money, have more money before so that they can live the continued lifestyle that they want to live, right?
Yes.
And they're, how do you do that? There's a plethora of information out there, right? And so where do you start? How do you diffuse the noise? How do you make wise decisions?
Mhm.
And that's where getting the proper knowledge, and hopefully we're going to bring you some of that knowledge here, and to give you some of these tips and these time tested tools and empirical strategies that work. They're advanced strategies. Let's cut to the chase. Women, we do not have time to waste, to be looking through the internet. And then how do you know if that pertains to you? So the confusion is there. Women, they're confused. So you need to have a mentor or a trusted advisor, because if you go to the internet can't see your feelings. The internet, you can go to maybe another advisor and it could be, a cookie cutter plan or a one size fits all. Well, ladies, we know one size does not fit all with clothing, and it doesn't work with your financial life. So,
Wonderful. You know, Michele, when I think about obtaining information that you need directly for yourself to make the best and the most wisest decisions about anything in life, but especially when it comes to money. As you stated, you want your money to outlive you. You don't want to run out of money because then you're at the mercy of others having to help take care of you financially.
Mhm.
So we as women, we are always taking care of someone else. I mean, it's a given. We nurture, we help develop, but this is what I am beginning to say to women. It's time for women to build their wealth. And I strongly believe that as we see the world, how it has changed, how society has changed.
Mhm.
And the pandemic really has taught us more than our share about being fit financially. So when you think about everything that has transpired over the last couple of years with the pandemic, what are some of the steps that women can immediately begin to take to change their financial future or their financial concerns?
Well, the first thing I would say, I would ask a question. Do you have a clearly defined written plan to become financially secure, financially free, financially independent, whichever you want to use? It all means the same, right? And with that plan, do you have a plan B? And in the event plan A doesn't work, we have to be versatile. Uh, you do a written plan and it works with you through the stages of your life. We have our working years, which are earning years, and then we have the hopefully not yearning years, but golden years. And you want to go from the working years, pre-retirement, to and through retirement. So you need a written plan in order to do that. And so I say you have to have a game plan because there's a quote, if you've heard of this book called The Little Prince, it's one of my favorite quotes. And just think of this. And the quote goes, "A goal without a plan is just a dream." I'll say it again, a goal without a plan is just a dream. And that's by the
Hmm.
author Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. And I love that quote because, you know, your money, if you have to win the money game. It's not a guessing game. I have to tell you, it's not a guessing game. And I love my clients because I learn these things from them. But actually, ladies, I'm gonna give you a little tip here. I got that from a guy. He he emailed me, the subject line was my guessing game. And I thought, oh my goodness, he's guessing. And he has all this money at this brokerage firm and he's guessing. So I thought, wow, it's not a guessing game. So that would be the first thing I would say, to be on your path to growth, prosperity, and preservation.
Mhm.
The second thing I would say, and I'll kind of run through these real quick, know where you stand. So it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And I've actually had ladies come and meet and they say, "Oh, I'm so afraid. I don't know what, to do." And I had anxiety even meeting, and they're like, and then they get calm. But I'm just going to show you, know where you stand, know your net worth. And I believe when you know your net worth, it will help you feel better about yourself. It'll increase your self-worth just for knowing where you stand. And your net worth statement, I'll show you one here. It's really simple. You know, Net worth, assets, such as savings account, checking, investments, life insurance, retirement funds, minus your liabilities. That's it. That's all you do. Assets minus liabilities equals your net worth. Hopefully you have a positive net worth and not a negative one, but if you have a negative one, you can work towards that as well. So knowing your net worth, I say you're net worthy too. So women are worthy of wealth and you need to know what is your net worth. So that's know where you stand. The second is know where your money goes. Where does your money go? And, Linda, we could discuss this, and so many people don't like the budget word. I love the budget word. So I go, know where you stand, design your BB. I love acronyms. I love little names because it's easy to remember. So BB, beautiful budget. Create your beautiful budget. And why? Why do you want to create the budget? Because it helps you relieve the stress of not knowing and the overwhelm. And when you sit and do your budget and know what is going in and going out, you can determine what you have access that can go towards those wants and dreams. Take care of your needs first, but then go to your wants and needs. And a beautiful budget can do that for you. It really is a wonderful tool to help guide you to your wealth plan.
That's awesome. As you were giving those steps to take, and I thought about knowing your net worth,
Mhm.
and not only knowing your net worth, but, and I loved when you stated, become net worthy,
Mhm.
becoming net worthy. You deal with a plethora of women
Mhm.
in your field. Do you mind sharing some stories of what you've encountered
Mhm.
that you have personally seen that impacts the lives of women so
Mhm.
that other women can hear and may even connect with some of the stories that you have helped others so that she can hear, I am not alone. I am not alone and I can get help. Because sometimes when you're in a situation and you feel like your back is against the wall, especially when it comes to money, you feel like you're alone. You're on an island by
Mhm.
yourself, but you aren't. And that's what we want women to fully understand. You are never alone. There's a support system for you, advisors there for you, like Michele. So Michele, do you mind sharing maybe one or two stories that comes to the top of your mind?
Oh, of course, yeah. And well, I'll relate this to another tip is that know where your money grows.
Hmm.
So your savings versus investing, which is savings are short term and investing is long term. Savings, you're a loaner, you're lending your money, you're earning a small amount of interest. And then with an owner, you're owning pieces of companies, strategically done, of course,
Hmm.
taking calculated risk. And that leads me to a story of a lady. And she was, a lady came to me, she was referred to me. She was an RN, married with 7 children. And her husband had a very big job. And she took care of the children, he took care of the money. Well, they got divorced. And it was like, whoa, how do you get divorced after 30 years of marriage? And then here she's on her own. So, fortunately, she wasn't alone. She was on her own, but she wasn't alone. She came to me. I helped her. And what I found was the money that she had gotten from her husband that was with a brokerage firm that her husband used. And they wanted her to, of course, stay with them. And they had the money was invested in all these high risk positions like partnerships in oil and airplanes and just unbelievable that are good if you have a lot of money. But she came to me wanting to make this money stretch and work for her and so that she could supplement her income and make it last through her golden years. And so the men, they just said, oh, honey, we're going to take care of this. Don't you worry about it. Well, she was worried, and we were able, to take care of it. And that's one situation that comes quickly to mind. Another situation that comes to mind is a single lady who came to me and was taking care of her father. And he was in a retirement facility. And he was in his 90s, and she knew, and she had a brother And she knew it was time to start looking at everything because Dad was to the point where he had kept his home, but yet it was now time to let's see what we're going to do, uh, work through this. So I told her to bring me, all the documents, the papers. And I have to tell you, Linda, it was one of the greatest experiences because this lady came to me with a piece of rolling luggage with all the documents in it. When they were, and she came, we looked at everything, but
Wow.
what we found was that we had uncovered things that were contrary to what her dad had told her as to how things would be split between the siblings. Found that the brother was actually taking more money out of dad's retirement money for himself. And it really, we worked it out amicably, but, these are things that are happening. And women are set now to, there's a change in wealth going on in the world today. We have the women and the baby boomers born between 1946 and 1964 there's a generational change in wealth, and there's a gender change, which is more important because of the women living longer. So we have to make sure that the money is handled properly. And like we said before, you don't want to run out of money before you run out of breath.
No,
So
no,
if you
not
have
at
an
all.
inheritance, you want to make sure that your mother, your father, whomever, that you can maximize that inheritance for you. And I have to say, the laws are changing right now. That I spent the time yesterday on a call updating some of these tax laws that have just been approved by the House. Moving on, all this is important. Um, you know, so that's two stories. And if I just may add one more point here, there's two rules to money, and I want women to remember this. Two rules to money. Number one, don't lose money. Number two, don't forget rule number one. Why do I say that? Where are you losing money? Okay, you may think it's through investments. That might be what everybody thinks initially. Well, that could be one area if it's not calculated properly and according to your specific time frames and your goals and your investment policy statement. But the biggest culprits of your money are taxes and inflation. And I think we're really seeing the inflation now. And I want them to realize if you need $10,000 a month today, and let me go with an average of 7%. If inflation's 7%, in 10 years, you will need $20,000 in just 10 years with a 7% inflation. This is why women need to
Yes.
plan a written plan, a holistic plan.
Oh, Michelle, just to think in 10 years from the 10,000 monthly budget
Mm,
to 20,000, 10 years is not a long period of time anymore.
no,
It's
it-
not. And this is why, ladies, it's time for you to take control of your financial fitness. It is, even though, and some women do, rely upon their husbands to take care of all of the financials. And that's okay if that is how your relationship, your marriage is set up. But it's so important to understand and know everything. Wouldn't you agree, Michelle?
Oh, absolutely. And I have seen, the challenges that women face by not knowing. And
Yes.
when you get to that retirement phase, when you're knocking on a door, I ask people, when would you like to know the options that you have, when you have many or when you have fewer? So be proactive. That is so critical. And here's why for women. Here's especially why. When you need the money to grow more for you, just as we talked about inflation. So you do need some money that's going to work for you. And the only place that you're really going to get it to work and keep a hedge against inflation and maintain your purchasing power, because that's what inflation does. It reduces your purchasing power. To maintain you have to invest some of your money, not all. I'm not an advocate for people to do it all or nothing. There are firms out there, that's all they do and that's all they want you to do. And I don't feel that that's wise. But and women typically are, reticent to invest because they don't feel comfortable with it. So that's why the knowledge is important, and gaining some knowledge. Not that you have to go pass a financial, securities exam. You don't need to know all that, but you need to have someone that's a fiduciary that can help you with it. And a lot of women say, oh, I have my brother. He's done so well. I'm going to talk to my brother. And I ask, well, is your brother, is he an advisor, investment advisor, financial advisor? Does he specialize in retirement planning and investing? So you have to watch where you get your news from, your information.
Yes. And that leads to this. This is probably going to be my last question, but I think women need to hear this. What's the best plan for women to have in place for their financial fitness going forward?
Well, the best plan to have is the plan that's implemented. Because if you do not implement it, then you will not get the results. And so why wouldn't you implement your plan? Because your plan is your goals, and your goals can't wait. If you want to retire secure, if you want to send your children, help them with college, or you want to help your parents to a degree, your goals cannot wait. And the reason that I find that some people maybe have not implemented is because they don't want to make a decision. And now you ask, why don't they want to make a decision? Well, because they don't feel comfortable and confident in making that decision. And I hope that I know rather that we can help women make those wise decisions, and that they will be on their way to be fit financially.
Absolutely. And that is what WomeNomics is helping women to be fit financially so that more women is generating wealth and intergenerational wealth. Now, Michele, I know you have something to share with the ladies, your call to action today for them.
Oh, yes. Well, my call to action, because when we speak about, plan your plan and implement your plan, it sounds so tedious, right? And time consuming. And it can't be for an advisor, of course. But what I have developed, I figured that this would really help women and get them to move the needle, get to the next step, is I developed a one-page financial plan. So it gives you just a synopsis, and I have some areas where you can fill in so you can get some comfort zone. You may need more help in the areas to learn where you need to do more, but it gives you a great starting point to see what a financial plan includes. And I think that's so important. Money is a lifelong story, right? And it keeps knocking on our door all the time. We have to understand it, and we have to control it. And that's the challenge. And you have to win the money game, because I can tell you this, it's the only game in town.
So how can they get your one-page financial plan?
Oh, yes. Okay. But you can just email me, or actually you can go to my website, which is BeFit, B-E-Fit, F-I-T, financially, financially.com. And if you just go ahead and sign up and put in the note, just put one-page plan, we will be happy to send that to you. And hopefully that can help you. And if you need any more help beyond that, please feel free. We can have a quick discussion and collaborate. But just get the page, look at it, and wrap your arms around it and get comfortable, with it. And I hope that helps, and it covers all the bases.
I know it will help. I can't say enough how much I appreciate this talk that we've had today, and I'm sure women all over can appreciate this, because truly this is a subject matter that we aren't comfortable discussing, but we have to become comfortable discussing it, because it's about us. It's about our lives, how to improve, how to have what we deserve and desire. So, Michele, I want to thank you. And I'd just like to share that this particular show was presented by Pringle Business Consulting. To learn more about Pringle Business Consulting, please visit pringlebusinessconsulting.com. Until next time, here's to your success.